Hello everybody, my name is Martin, this is Millionaire Autobahn. Today we're actually coming from a little bit of a different place. I am actually traveling and because of that I actually want to make a video about when you're on vacation, is day trading a viable option? And I personally think it is not. So let me go through the points that I think that are important so you understand where I'm coming from, why I say it's not a good idea. But yeah, as always, this is no financial advice. I'm just a guy on YouTube who tells a story about his own day trading, my day trading journey. And so just to give you some hints and ideas on what to look for. So when you go through YouTube, you will find quite a bit of day traders that come up and say, oh, we're day trading while be on vacation and making a shitload of money, right? So there's this one, for example, it's Mamba FX. I've never actually heard of him, but his YouTube video says, he makes like over $100,000 or so a day by day trading while being on vacation. So one thing you gotta first have to think of. So apparently he's trading Forex, otherwise his name wouldn't be Mamba FX, right? I have not watched the video, I'm just assuming here, but if he says he makes 100,000 and Forex is, if you get the 10% during a day, you are very, very extremely lucky, because usually prices between currencies, they might move a percent or so during a day. You might do several trades. So let's just assume he has a 10% profit rate. So to make 100,000, he still needs $1 million to actually invest. So always keep those things in mind when people say, oh, I made 100,000 today. Always have to think about how much money they need to invest to make that 100,000. I'm not saying they're not doing it. I'm just saying that you really have to think about how much money they actually use in order to get that return. So nevertheless, so here's this guy, Mamba FX, who actually says he makes that much money while traveling. Then we have the good old warrior trading, Ross Cameron. He also has some videos out there being on vacation and still doing day trading. So we'll talk about that. And then actually one of my favorites, I do like her, the Humble Trader. She also has some videos out there while being in Bali. I think it's she has been there a couple of times already. And yeah, so she has some videos about when she's in Bali and still doing day trading. So why am I saying this is actually a bad idea? It's actually pretty simple. So first of all, just think of it if you have a regular job, right? So once you go on vacation, you should, and mostly you do, turn off work. You just go on vacation. So that's the whole idea of going on vacation. But if you're successful in day trading, successful in any type of business, why would you take the time when you're on vacation to actually do day trading? To me, to be honest, makes no sense. If I go on vacation, I want to explore the area where I'm at, go to the beaches, enjoy the culture, the foods and all those things. I don't want to think about, oh, I have to sit on the computer at this and this time and do some trades, right? It just doesn't make sense. But if you're not successful, you shouldn't go on vacation in the first place, right? You need to be able to afford that vacation. Otherwise, the vacation is pointless. So yeah, so my first point is, it's called a vacation for a reason. To actually turn off everything and don't day trade while you're on vacation. Okay, all right. So then also what I just mentioned, the second thing is, you shouldn't think of, yeah, because I'm not yet good enough at day trading to earn money, I still can go on vacation and then do some trading on the side while I'm there. No, just don't go on vacation. If you cannot afford it, don't go on vacation, period. That's as simple as that, right? So the third thing is the time difference. Depending on where you go, you might have to get up early in the morning or you have to stay up late night so you can actually be trading while the New York Stock Exchange is open. If you trade something else, let's say you trade crypto or Forex or whatever, that's open 24/7, then you might be good. However, most trades or most volatility is actually during New York Stock Exchange trading hours, pretty much for any asset out there, right? Because it's just the biggest, has the biggest volume. And due to that, all the other asset classes are kind of tied to it, okay? So let's just say you're in Bali, somewhere in the east, right? Then you have to kind of be up at midnight or something to actually do trading. If you're on the other side, you might have to be up like very early in the morning at 3, 4, 5 in the morning to do trading. Do you really want to do that when you're on vacation? I don't think so, right? Not only that, if you do that, if you have to get up at night to do trading, you kind of want to sleep then during the day. So the vacation is kind of a moot point, right? When you're on vacation, you want to enjoy yourself, do stuff. So it doesn't really make any sense. And then the next point is that I find is you don't have enough screens. So my setup at home, I have like 3 big screens and then 3 laptop screens, so a total of 6. Might be an overkill, I don't know. I just kind of actually do like having all these screens to actually see exactly what's going on. But when you're on vacation, you have most likely just one screen. Yes, you can have some fold outs where you have 2 more screens on the left and right of your laptop, but still it's all kind of on the smaller scale. And I'm not sure if that actually makes a lot of sense also to invest in those, to carry them around, to actually do day trading, or it could be night trading, right? Just so you might be able to make some money while traveling. Okay, so I don't think it's a good idea, to be honest. So the 5th point I want to make when it comes to that, you don't know if you always have a stable and good internet connection. So let's say you go to Bali, you go to the Philippines or to Thailand or something like that, and it can happen that at some point the power is out. It could be in the middle of the night, it could be just while you're trading. Just imagine you go into a trade and then the power is out, the internet is gone, and you don't know what is happening, and 20 minutes later power is back, internet is back, and all of a sudden you see, damn, I lost $1,000, right? And there's nothing you can do about it. So I don't think that's a good idea either, right? So you don't want to rely on unreliable things. And that can happen when you travel. It can happen pretty much anywhere, but if you're at home, I have like these UPS, so that even if the power would go down, my network and my computer, everything would still run. So I am still, able to trade even though the power would be out, right? So, but if you're on vacation, you cannot drag your UPS with you to make sure you always have power. That's just not happening. Again, it's not a good point to do that. Then the 6th point is like outside influences. So it could be that the resort has a party going on where you're at, right? So at night when you want to trade, they have a party going on, so it's kind of loud, you cannot concentrate. Or maybe the neighbors' rooms or so, there's some teenagers or whatever, and they're kind of loud and whatnot. So that's not really a good thing. Then of course you might want to go on some excursions and stuff. So you only have certain time frames where you can actually trade. And with that comes the FOMO problem, the same problem that you have when you do this on the side. Meaning when you actually do day trade while you're still working, it's the same problem. Because then you say, oh, I have like this 3 hours right now tonight while being in Bali, right? And so the first 2 hours there was no trade. And then you only have like an hour left and you think, damn, I have to actually get a trade in. You don't have to, but that's kind of in your mind. That's in every trader's mind, that you at least want to do one trade. Successful or not, but you kind of want to trade. That's why you do this whole thing. It's kind of your, how would I say, your job. It is kind of your passion, right? And I'm actually really passionate about it. I'm always excited as soon as I can start trading. I'm all excited about it, which is important. But as said, if you're on vacation and you only have then a certain time frame to do that, and then you kind of want to get into a trade, and all of a sudden, you know, it turns around and then you have to get out of the trade, because you should never ever keep this asset overnight. And so you get out and then you might lose, right? So yeah, it just doesn't really make any sense whatsoever to day trade while on vacation. You have to think about that, right? Because when you say you're on vacation, you want to do things, you want to explore areas, you want to, you know, just lay on the beach, lay on the pool, things like that, right? And because of that, you would take out of your vacation time 3, 4, 5 hours a day or night in order to do the trading. And then you're kind of tired to do actually those excursions and stuff. So you're not really taking advantage of the vacation. As said, it is called vacation for a reason. And that's what you should do when you're on vacation. You should not day trade while being on vacation. As you see my bag, right, I'm actually right now, as I said, traveling. So this video comes out of a hotel room, and I'm still looking at the stock exchange and everything. So I'm still want to see what's going on, still look at my indicators and stuff like that. And yes, I think of actually, it would be nice to trade, but then again, it just doesn't make sense. I don't have any other monitors than just my laptop, and it's just not enough to really get detailed information, right? So I would not advise to anybody to day trade while going on vacation. Go on vacation to relax, go on vacation to explore, go on vacation to have a good time, but not to day trade. Keep the day trading at home, where you have your setup, where you like your environment, where you feel comfortable to trade, but not when you're on vacation. There's so many things that can go wrong, and you don't want to get stuck in these things, right? As said, power goes out, time difference, there's things going on where you stay. You don't want to get stuck in those things, right? So my advice again is, do not day trade while on vacation, okay? So yeah, this was again another one of these little rant videos. I just don't like when you see those big traders out there that say, oh, I'm on vacation and I made $100,000, or even if I just made $1,000, it doesn't matter. But you know, you have to keep all these things in mind, that actually day trading while being on vacation doesn't make any sense. Keep that in mind, please. All right. So yeah, this was it for today. It's a bit of shorter video, I would say, but I had to get it out. It was on my mind for the last 2 months or so, and I just had to get it out to let you know, don't day trade while on vacation. It's vacation for a reason, and that's what you should do, okay? All right, so thank you so much for watching. As always, like and subscribe. Tell other people about this channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.